Dear members of the jury, what an honor to be one of the finalists of the UPS George T. Smith Prize. I would like to thank you for choosing the Eindhoven University of Technology as the first non-North American university to compete for the most prestigious prize in operations research education. I can imagine that not everybody in the world is familiar with the Eindhoven University of Technology. After all, we are quite a small university. However, when I mention Jacques Benders and Edgar Dijkstra, that usually changes things immediately. These two big names in operations research are inextricably linked to our university. The DNA of Benders and Dijkstra is the DNA of our university. We continue to build on their creativity, their drive to transcend borders, and their will to build ecosystems. Frank Bijens, our Rector Magnificus, will now tell you how one sees these principles reflected in the institute that the Eindhoven University of Technology is today.
It was Edgar Dijkstra who said, "It is not the task of the university to offer what society asks for, or to give what society needs." And the Eindhoven University of Technology therefore educates our students to become future-proof, to become someone who is capable of finding solutions for questions that we are not familiar with yet. And we offer education in which you learn how to develop yourself, and we call it challenge-based learning. Eindhoven, our home city in the south of the Netherlands, is relatively small in size, but big in deeds. Our region is a true technology hotspot, with important multinationals such as Philips, NXP, TomTom and ASML. And the Eindhoven High-Tech Campus is not much bigger than 1 square kilometer, but it hosts more than 150 companies and institutions, and well over 10,000 researchers, developers and entrepreneurs working on technologies and products that will shape the future. Together, we form Brainport Eindhoven, and we're all committed in working with local government agencies to improve the region's business infrastructure and international competitive position. Now, this ecosystem is strong. And in the annual study on European cities and regions of the future by Financial Times, Eindhoven was ranked in the 3rd position as European City of the Future, just after London and Helsinki. The students from Eindhoven University of Technology benefit from this. They become part of this rock-solid ecosystem from the very first step a student takes in our university. For us, collaboration is key. In addition, we teach our students to always look beyond their own borders in a broader sense, between programs, between sectors, and between universities. And we offer an open culture where everyone feels free to exchange ideas and take initiatives. And we believe that this culture, which one can clearly see in our students of the Master in Industrial and Applied Mathematics, is pivotal for delivering critical thinkers for the society of tomorrow.
We will zoom a little further from the university to our department. Edwin van de Heuvel, Vice Dean of the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science, will briefly tell you a little bit more about the department of which the Master's Industrial and Applied Mathematics is part of.
The Department of Mathematics and Computer Science is one of 10 departments of the Eindhoven University of Technology. We offer 3 bachelor programs: Applied Mathematics, Computer Science and Data Science. Industrial and Applied Mathematics is one of our 7 master programs. All these programs interact nicely. We help, strengthen and motivate each other. For example, data science is indispensable for mathematics. And the other way around, of course. Operational research is part of both the Bachelor and the Master of Mathematics. Our rector Frank Bayens just told you about breaking down boundaries in order to discover new worlds. We do this at all levels of our department, within our research, teaching and outreach. For instance, our researchers are the pillars of the prestigious Networks program, a 10-year program funded by the Dutch Ministry of Education, Culture and Science. The aim of this program is to address the pressing challenges posed by large-scale networks, with the help of both stochastics and algorithmics. In this program we also work together with 3 other Dutch research institutes. We are highly interwoven with the companies surrounding us. We do this in the spirit of Jacques Benders, who always sought cooperation with society, with Philips, Heineken and the governments in the Netherlands. A large number of our professors have a part-time appointment with companies. But naturally we guarantee the independence of their research. The advisory board of our department also consists of various members from the business community. Clearly, we use this strong network in our research, but also in our education. One of our finest and best examples is the Modeling Week, where students work together with several companies to solve a real problem they have. About 60% of our students graduate at a company. Both students and company learn from each other in such projects. We are proud of our researchers and teachers who value the fundamental research with industry and society. As Jacques Benders once wrote, the best results are obtained through an interplay of art and knowledge.
You have learned about our university and department. It is time to dive deeper into our master program, Industrial and Applied Mathematics. Alessandro Di Bucchianico, Graduate Program Director, will tell you more about it.
In the Netherlands and other European countries, separate OR departments and programs do not exist. OR is always part of another discipline, most often mathematics or econometrics. Note that we also have a bachelor program in data science, together with nearby university at Tilburg, which is rather unique. There are many data science programs at master level around the world, but very few at bachelor level. In addition to our bachelor, master and PhD programs, we also offer PDeng, Professional Doctorate in Engineering programs, in which students follow a program that deepens their methodological knowledge, trains them in professional skills and gives them ample opportunity for hands-on experience through several short projects and one long final project at the companies. The PDM programs are largely funded by companies by paying for the salary of the PDM candidates. All our courses are taught in English, so that there are no barriers for foreign students. The Industrial and Applied Mathematics program is embedded into the framework of the TUE Graduate School, which unifies all post-bachelor education at TUE. This embedding ensures that the IM program complies with the basic philosophy of the TUE Graduate School, Design Your Own Study, which is a larger spectrum of choices in career orientation as well as content for the students. After obtaining a master's degree, students can continue at TUE as PhD student or PDeng trainee. Our master program is one of the larger master programs in the Netherlands. From the total enrollment in our program, about 50% specializes in operations research. Note that in the Netherlands there is a strict separation between master programs and PhD programs. The Industrial and Applied Mathematics program is a Master of Science level program offered at the Eindhoven University of Technology in the Netherlands. It has been accredited by the Dutch Ministry of Education, Culture and Science for the past 20 years. The degree program comprises mandatory study components, core electives, special electives and free electives. Both mandatory study components, professional portfolio and the final project, are part of a program of examinations, as well as at least 4 core courses. The goal of the core courses is to provide students a broad basis on which they can build their specialization. The curriculum has a balanced set of 6 core courses, with 2 core courses corresponding to each of the 3 mathematical topics in the IM curriculum: analysis, stochastics and discrete mathematics. Since students must choose at least 4 core courses, the structure of the IM curriculum ensures that students have a broad and solid basic knowledge of applied mathematics in agreement with the IM learning outcomes. Each student follows an individual package of specialized courses. Several of these special electives have a distinct data science flavor, so that they can build up a T-shaped profile. That is, a solid, broad basis combined with deep knowledge in at least one specialization. In addition to the special electives offered by the EM program, students can also follow master's courses at the national tier. Our program offers the students a wide range of courses that they can choose from. The IM program does not have tracks or specializations with obligatory courses per track, but it has distinguishable profiles. This concretely means that all courses are open to all students, and the program requires that students obtain from its core courses a broad knowledge in OR. Among the IM special elective courses, there's a wide range of OR courses. The program provides large flexibility, having in fact a single mandatory course. And the teaching in the master program is strongly related to the areas of research the department focuses on via profiles. These profiles do not come with formal obligations but are pre-selected sets of courses that help the student shape a coherent personal study program. Students in our program have ample opportunity to deepen their know-how on analytics and data science. The past 2 years we included new courses and updated the contents of existing courses within IM so that our students get acquainted with the state-of-the-art knowledge on analytics and data science. For example, our course on stochastic decision theory is now strongly connected with reinforcement learning. In addition to the IM special electives, students have access to a wide range of courses from our new master, Data Science and Artificial Intelligence. Students that wish to challenge themselves may choose to go for a double degree. Our degree program has the status of ACME Training Center. ACME is the European Consortium for Mathematics in Industry. Students can get an ACME certificate if they participate in an international ACME modeling week and if they study at least 1 semester abroad. As is common in Europe, there exists a strict separation between the master and PhD programs. In particular, PhD students are considered as junior researchers and as such have a temporary employment at the university with a salary. Every PhD student makes their own choices in collaboration with the supervisor, as fits their own educational needs. Education is individual and has no formal requirements. Education for PhD students is available at the national tier. The Netherlands is one of the smallest countries in Europe, allowing for easy travel between any 2 locations and fosters an intensive collaboration culture. As a result of this ease of travel and traditional cooperative attitude, academic education at the graduate level in the country is tiered, with courses offered at the local, university level, but also at the central, national level, in collaboration with all Dutch universities. a program called MasterMath. To the best of our knowledge, this is a unique feature worldwide. Our degree program is nationally well embedded. We actively participate in the National MasterMath program, so that our students have an additional choice of over 50 courses that they can choose. The MasterMath Consortium is a collaboration of all 11 mathematics programs in the Netherlands. It makes optimal use of the combined national expertise, as well as the excellent public transport infrastructure. All courses can be reached within 1.5 hours by train, with trains running every 30 minutes. Due to national government funding, students are reimbursed for their travel costs. Courses of the National Operations Research Network, LNMB, are included in MasterMath. LNMB also offers courses at PhD level. Our IM lectures contribute to MasterMath in general and to the LNMB Operations Research courses in particular.
So during MasterMath, I was able to follow a course at a different university.
Yeah, it was very nice that you can learn about the specialties of other universities as well.
Yeah, and I got to collaborate with the students from that university as well.
Making use of the excellent transport and scientific infrastructure of the Netherlands, both master and PhD students have access to a wide range of OR courses. A unique feature of our degree program is the Professional Portfolio course, which is a capstone course for professional skills and is an important part of our way to prepare students for their future role as practitioners. Different from the courses and workshops offered by the TUE Skills Lab, the course offers a workshop on negotiation styles to give students an extra option to improve their soft skills, and workshops on group work, personal leadership, and mathematical writing. The guest lectures by alumni show students possible careers in business, industry, and academia, as well as the importance of making personal choices.
I personally really enjoyed the professional portfolio, especially the part where you develop as a mathematician for the future in your personal ambitions.
But also the presentations of alumni of our program that are currently working at the company, and they explain the steps that they took from studying towards their work.
The IM program has a definite focus on applying mathematics in an industrial or societal context. This starts with the modeling week in the first year. This is a pressure cooker type of education in which students work in groups on real-life problems presented by companies. Interaction with the problem owner of the company is an essential part of this week. It's amazing how much students can achieve in 1 week. The picture of the cake on the top of the slide has a nice story to it. In one of the modeling weeks, the students solved an optimization problem that engineers from Signify, former Philips Lighting, had been struggling with for almost 6 months. The engineers gave a tasteful thank you cake to the students to show their appreciation. The Modeling Week is our master student version of an annual national event, Study Group Mathematics with Industry, in which PhD students and faculty participate.
So during the modeling week, which is part of the professional portfolio course, we got a real problem from a company that gave us the first hands-on experience to prepare us for the rest of our masters.
Yeah, and during that week, it was also possible that you should use new theories or theory that you did not yet learn. But because we learned a way of creative and innovative thinking, we were able to also apply that new theory with our own research.
TUE highly stimulates students to gain international experience beyond the international experience gained in Eindhoven through its international community of lecturers and students. Thanks to the close collaboration of countries within the European Union, we have agreements with over 20 foreign universities so that students can easily spend a semester abroad. TUE offers administrative support through its internationalization office, and financial support is supplied by the European Union. In addition, IM also offers international double degrees. Students may choose for a double degree program with either the University of Stuttgart in Germany or the Politecnico di Torino in Italy. We make optimal use of our location in the Brainport region to involve industry and business in our program. All internships are executed at an organization outside TUE. IAM does not allow an internal internship at the TUE research group, guaranteeing industrial experience of its graduates. Within IAM, students of OR-focused profiles typically write their graduation thesis while being seconded at a company. This requires a supervisor from TUE and a second supervisor from the company involved. Normally, the contacts with the company have been established by the supervisor. Several appointments of part-time professors from business and industry also strengthen the industrial involvement in our program. The Night of Eindhoven event is organized by consultancy company CQM, with which we have a close contact because many of our master and PhD graduates work there. This night is a competition on data science, optimization and consultancy for student teams of various universities. During the whole night, a number of challenging assignments is given by the company to the student teams. Since 2011, TUE teams won the competition 4 out of 8 times, while typically a second and perhaps a third TUE team also finishes among the top 8 national teams.
I did an internship at a company in Eindhoven. I really learned how to apply the mathematics I learned during the program, and they're currently taking steps to use the knowledge that I gained for their practice right now.
Yeah, so I did an internship at a healthcare company, and it was a really great hands-on experience, and I really learned how I can apply my mathematical knowledge from the program in the industry world. And besides that, the mathematical model that I made during the internship is now actually used by the company.
Across IAM, around 60% of the final projects take place at companies or organizations outside the university. The nature of such projects is that they combine industrial or societal challenges with mathematical content. Within the OR-focused profiles, this percentage can even be higher, with a purely internal final project being the rare exception. The TUE stimulates master students to learn to work in interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary teams by taking courses from other departments and by performing an internship abroad. Our program prepares our students in their role as future practitioners in several ways. First of all, the university offers our students a wide range of activities and tools through its Skills Lab and Career Academy. This includes workshops on self and social awareness, professional skills, and a wide range of activities on career orientation, such as lunch lectures with companies and career days in which companies present themselves on our campus. A professional identity training is mandatory for all TUE master students. Mentorship is embedded rather than merely offered on various topics: academics, administration, internationalization, future job perspectives, and professionalization. Students are well supported and maintain their links to the program well after graduation. This reinforces our ties with society and industry.
Okay, so mentoring is really helpful. For example, if you want to choose a certain direction or a certain course, or if you want help finding a company for your internship, then you can call your mentor, schedule a meeting, and he or she will help you with that.
And these mentors are all involved in the educational program of the master, so they really know about every course that's available for you.
We are proud of our very active study association with whom we happily collaborate. The activities of our study association really enrich our program.
So GUIS is the study association for computer science and mathematics students, where they organize a lot of activities for students and by students.
Yeah, one of these activities are career orientation activities. So then students invite a company to explain what they are working on, but also to give a workshop, for example.
Yes, and other activities are, for example, trainings where students can, for example, do something like public speaking, such that they can develop their own soft skills.
As can be seen from the bottom row in the table, the majority of our students go to industry or consultancy.
With about 100 publications in Inform's journals and about 200 presentations at various Inform's conferences, our faculty has traditionally strong links with Informs. We have organized the Informs Applied Probability Society conference in 2007, a conference that attracts about 300 participants worldwide. Our current faculty has served in about 20 program committees of Informs conferences and another 20 years of service in roles such as the Lancaster Prize Committee and council membership of Informs societies. We have provided editors for flagship Informs journals, such as the Mathematics of Operations Research, and Stochastic Systems. We have won the APS Erlang Prize twice, the Nicholson Prize, several Best Paper Awards from Informs societies, and an OOR Meritorious Service Award. This year we are finalists for 3 Informs prizes, including this one, the UPS George T. Smith Prize. Wish us luck with all 3 prizes.
Good day. My name is Frits Spieksma. I'm going to tell you about a project that I did together with IAM graduate student Denny Blom and my colleague Rudy Pendaving. Imagine that we are back in May 2020 amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. Our local theater, it's called the Music Building Eindhoven, and here you see 2 rooms of this theater, is struggling severely because of the distance rules that were imposed by the Dutch government. 2 members of different families are not allowed to seat within 1.5 meter. And as you can imagine, that is a severe constraint when it matters about seating audiences. I will not talk too much about the existence of the rules in different countries. The economic consequences of these rules have been dramatic. The Economist says that even in the UK, up to £200 million in losses are there. But let's have a look at the specific case of the Music Building Eindhoven. Here you see 4 seats from above, and the distance between 2 consecutive seats is 51 centimeters. This means that if you, and this is again, the squares indicate the seats, if you place an individual person in the green seat, then all the red seats are the forbidden zone. No one of another family is allowed to sit there. And you see the same picture for family sizes of 2 and 3. So we are interested in seating arrangements that have as many people as possible in the theater. And that gives us rise to the following problem statement. You want to find a safe seating arrangement that accommodates as many people as possible. Now, what I regard as the main sort of analytical insight that we found is that such a safe seating arrangement corresponds to a disjoint packing of trapezoids. And I guess the picture suggests what I'm trying to say here. If you have pairwise disjoint trapezoids, it corresponds to a safe seating arrangement and vice versa. And that is an interesting insight. And here you see a picture of what we call Hilbert's theater. But this insight allows us to leverage all the existing traditional tools that exist in our field, in particular integer programming. So we set up an integer program, we solved the model, and here you see in the second column a percentage which indicates the density, the percentage of the total number of seats that are occupied by a person. So it's about 30% if you look at the second column. Well, it's good news that we can compute this. The bad news is you cannot operate a theater sustainably using a 30% occupation density. So something needs to happen. And what the artists themselves and the theater came up with, we're going to do a show twice on an evening. So you play from 7 to 8:30 and you play from 9:30 till 11, and you have 2 shows on an evening, of course with different audiences. And we adapted our IP models because, of course, a seat can be used at most once during these 2 shows. We solved our models again, and here you see the maps of the seats that you then find. And each color indicates the set of seats that you can occupy in a particular show. And the nice thing is that we are able to find occupation densities that approach 60–65%. And that is a number that a theater can work with. I'm going to almost finish with the statement of the director saying that the mathematical analysis helped us to create business models which make it possible to sell the maximum number of tickets using variable composed audiences. And finally, when the project was over and we, with our group, wanted to visit a show in the theater, they gave us free tickets to this show called The Kick. We had a very fun evening, and I wish you the same. Thank you very much.
At the beginning of the corona pandemic, we obtained mobility data between Dutch municipalities and immediately realized that this data could be used to fight the current pandemic. Mitigating a pandemic requires a balancing act where policy makers need to find trade-offs between public health and other societal values. To help policymakers in the Netherlands, our project aims at finding mobility restrictions that balance these conflicting goals. This project is part of my graduate studies and is a cooperation with several undergraduate students. We formalize this trade-off between public health and other societal values as an optimization problem, where we use mobility as a proxy for societal values such as economic activity and freedom of movement. We consider mobility restrictions that partition the country into regions, so that people from different regions are not, so that mobility between regions is restricted while mobility within regions is allowed. We then developed several heuristics to tackle this optimization problem and find suitable mobility restrictions. Our first heuristic partitions the country based on mobility data alone, using a community detection method that is popular in network science. This partition reflects the mobility patterns better than administrative regions such as provinces. On the slide, the color indicates the loss of mobility due to the restrictions. We see that the administrative divisions lead to disproportionate restrictions in certain areas. Our heuristic avoids this. However, this heuristic does not take into account the different infection rates in the different regions. This may lead to disproportionate restrictions in barely affected regions. Our second heuristic does take the infection prevalence into account. As you can see, this leads to stricter mobility measures around heavily affected regions and less severe restrictions around barely affected regions. How do we see this? Closer to the outbreak areas, the regions are smaller, so that mobility is more restricted. Further from the outbreak area, the regions are larger, so that the people have more freedom of movement. To evaluate the effectiveness of our partitions, we developed an epidemiological model that incorporates mobility. We use this model to estimate the number of infections under given mobility restrictions and evaluate the trade-off. We observe that our methods work especially well when the infections are geographically concentrated. We developed a measure to quantify how concentrated the infections are at a given moment. Here you see how the concentration evolved during the first months of the pandemic. At the beginning of the pandemic, the concentration was high, as most of the infections were located close to the initial outbreak. Later, as the epidemic became more widespread, the concentration decreased. In the summer of 2020, the concentration increased again due to local outbreaks.
Our epidemiological model can also be useful for forecasting and decision support. Thereby, it can support regional decision makers in fighting the pandemic. One difficulty with the model as it is now is that some of the parameters are uncertain and that some parameters also change over time. So to solve this, we integrated statistical estimation methods into the model, and hereby we were able to obtain accurate predictions of the daily new infections on the level of municipalities. But our research doesn't stop here. For instance, there is more data available on the prevalence of symptoms and on risk behavior of people. How can we integrate this information into the models? And moreover, how can we ensure that policymakers will actually understand and use our results? Expertise in operations research and mathematics is not enough for this. So we formed a team of many experts from a wide range of disciplines. For medical data, we turned to the citizen science project COVID Radar of Leiden University Medical Center. In this project, tens of thousands of users submit daily their information on their symptoms and on their risk behavior through an app that has been designed specifically for this project. Professor Hans Heestebeek from Utrecht University is an expert on theoretical epidemiology, and he is well known for his adaptation of the basic reproduction number. Dr. Florence Metz is a policy expert at the University of Twente, and she has conducted many interviews with policymakers to investigate their information needs. And finally, ICT company Iljongs and data science company Mesuro brought all this information together into one dashboard that presents all this information through logical and attractive visualizations. Throughout the entire process, we actively involved the policymakers in the design of this decision support tool. They were very happy with this and also very enthusiastic about the tool and its usefulness for containing the current pandemic and for containing future pandemics. All in all, we have shown with this project how operations research and mathematics can contribute to fighting the pandemic and to contribute also to more future pandemic preparedness.
The Eindhoven University of Technology is part of the Eindhoven ecosystem. In the next part, two of the companies we collaborate with will tell you more about our ways of cooperating.
Our cooperation with the Eindhoven University of Technology goes back for over a decade and is one of our prime pillars in innovation strategy with PriceCipher. As an AI company, we continuously strive to implement the latest academic findings into the business world. And working with graduate students from the master's program in industrial and applied mathematics helps us create proof of concepts and the newest data, science models, and test drive them at our clients. We also value the advice on complex challenges from the academic staff as part of our scientific advisory board. The combination of interns, graduate students, and the scientific advisory board from the Eindhoven University of Technology makes us very successful in the rapidly evolving world of AI and keeps us ahead of competition.
CQM is at the forefront of solving complex problems and applying data science. We're always curious to find out about new methods, models, and future talent. That's why staying in close contact with renowned knowledge institutions such as Eindhoven University of Technology is so important to us. Over the years, we've hired many graduates from the master's program in industrial and applied mathematics. The combination of their analytical insight and client-oriented attitude is a prime asset of these graduates. Our clients are also pleased with the fresh perspective they bring and the interaction that follows from that. Together, we work on state-of-the-art mathematics and deliver solutions that are actually applied in practice.
Now it is time to hear from our students. How do they feel about their master study, about the graduate program? Why do they think that the Master in Industrial and Applied Mathematics stands out and prepares them for their professional careers?
Back in 2015, I started with my bachelor studies in Applied Mathematics at Eindhoven University of Technology, after which I continued with my Master in Industrial and Applied Mathematics. What I thought was especially inspiring about the program is that it gave me the freedom to develop myself in the direction of my interests within mathematics. I really liked how I was allowed to choose my own courses, which finally led me to specialize in stochastics and operation research. What I also really appreciated about the program is the way you are educated to apply the theory from the lectures in real-life problems. Therefore, I chose to do my master thesis in collaboration with bol.com, which is a large e-commerce platform in the Netherlands, with 5.5 billion euros online sales last year. My thesis was on optimizing the order sourcing within bol.com by minimizing the costs, while also taking capacity constraints into account. After I graduated, bol.com offered me a job. So currently I'm enjoying my position as a business analyst at bol.com, where I'm focusing on the simulation of the design of a new warehouse. One thing I really liked about the master's program in Industrial and Applied Mathematics is that it prepared me for applying operations research in practice. Most courses contain a modeling component to ensure you start applying the theory right away. Next to that, I got the opportunity to write my master's thesis in the working field here at CQM, while still getting a lot of guidance from the university. In my thesis, I researched the applicability of reinforcement learning on spare parts inventory control. And yeah, I think my thesis went really well. In fact, after I graduated, CQM offered me a job right away. And now, while working here, I still apply many of the things I learned during my studies on a daily basis. Not just mathematical know-how, but also things like abstract thinking and programming.
Hi, my name is Colin Drent and I'm on my final year of my PhD studies. My passion is solving challenging data-driven decision problems in operations management that have practical relevance using operations research techniques. I've always been fascinated by operations management, so the logical step for me was to start my bachelor studies in industrial engineering, which centers around optimization of operations. Gradually, I transitioned towards a more quantitative focus in that field and found my passion for stochastic operations research. I continued my graduate studies with a master's degree in operations management and logistics at the industrial engineering faculty, but I also broadened my knowledge and research skills by following extra courses in stochastic operations research at the industrial and applied mathematics department. When I was offered the chance to continue my graduate studies with PhD research in stochastic operations research at the industrial and applied mathematics department, I was immediately sold. Philips, which is an industrial manufacturer of medical imaging systems, is directly involved in my PhD research, so that I can do research that has both high practical and scientific value. The combination of rigorous mathematical analysis and direct application of my developed models and their insights into practice is for me the perfect combination for doing research in operations management.
Dear members of the jury, one of Edgar Dijkstra's talents was to keep it short and simple. The paper in which he explains his famous algorithms, Dijkstra's algorithms for the shortest path, is just over 2 pages long, including the references. I will try to do the same in these closing words. You have heard us present the Master Industrial and Applied Mathematics. You have heard about our university, the faculty, and the master program. Our partners and students have shared their stories. You have found out that our Master Industrial and Applied Mathematics is an innovative operations research program with a hands-on educational mindset. But what makes this Master's unique? 3 reasons. First, the tiers of education. Second, our close collaboration with industry. Third, our student support. First, among the distinctive characteristics of the program are the tiers of education within our own university and within the Netherlands. The national tier of education comes in 2 levels, with the national collaboration for master's programs, MasterMath, and also the national networks on specialized research themes that offer additional master's and PhD courses. Internationally, we have intensive collaboration with European universities on double degrees and bilateral student exchange agreements. Second, our ecosystem of hundreds of companies we collaborate with healthcare, energy, high-tech and other sectors. We built and we are still building on this ecosystem. It is unique that we have structural involvement of industry in the curriculum through the internships, the final thesis and the modeling week. Students learn by doing and are continuously involved in projects given by industrial partners. Third and last, we excel in supporting students. We embed mentorship in the student program. We help in several ways: administration, internationalization, future job perspectives, and professionalization. Students are well supported and maintain their links to the program well after graduation. These efforts make the Master Industrial and Applied Mathematics a highly appreciated program, and students let us know they feel the same. Every year they take the effort to respond to the national annual survey. Year after year they place our mathematics program at the top national position. That's our story, a story that goes beyond rankings or numbers, A story of cooperating, of crossing boundaries and building bridges. A story of helping students becoming the critical thinkers that our society needs. I want to thank you for your attention. Good luck with choosing the winner of the UPS George T. Smith Prize.